Hey guys, it's Zach with MtGOB, and today's build is Dovin, Hand of Control with Faith Shield as our signature spell. For this build, we're going to use Dovin, Hand of Control, and we're going to pair it with Faith's Shield, which gives a permanent we control protection from the color of our choice, or if we're in a bind and have 5 life or less, it gives all our permanents protection from the color of our choice. As for the Blue Baron himself, we are utilizing his static ability to help tax our opponents for every spell that they play, giving us an advantage and hopefully getting our win conditions on the field before they do. As for the creature base, I've loaded us up on creatures who have our backs. Each creature I've included protects us in some form or another by either tapping down threats, giving us hex proof, taxing our opponents, making it harder for them to reach their win conditions, or just preventing all damage altogether. And now to introduce our lockdown crew, Deputy of Detention, Banisher Priest, and Angel of Sanctions all help exile target opponent's creatures or other permanents, while Lavinia allows us to detain each opponent's permanents with converted mana cost 4 or less. To help further annoy our opponents to death, I've included cards like Tithe Taker, Glow Rider, Ringmare, which all tax our opponents for the spells that they want to play, and the Grand Arbiter taxes our opponents while reducing our spells cost by reducing white and blue spells we play by 1 generic mana. Now time to introduce our own big threats. Nezahal is a big-bodied threat that punishes other control builds by giving us card advantage every time they play a non-creature spell. Nezi can also be blinked and to save her from removal by discarding 3 cards at any time. As for the leader of the Azorius, Azor is another big-bodied threat that has flying and gains us life and card advantage whenever he attacks. Also, he prevents opponents from casting instants and sorceries during their next turn, which can really help prolong his ability to stay on the board. Lastly, our utility players are the new Lavinia, which slows ramp strategies, Leonin Arbiter, which stops our opponents from searching their libraries unless they pay that nifty tax, and Idolian of Rhetoric, which stops both creature and control builds by limiting all players to play only 1 spell per turn. Now, for the instants and sorceries in our build, I've broken it into 3 simple categories. First, we have our counter spells to help keep our game plan on track, and also help stop our opponent's win conditions, and also help keep our board state a bit protected. Next are a couple of draw spells to help us find our own solutions or win conditions a bit faster. And lastly, board wipes to help clear crowded or out of control board states that any of our opponents may have developed. Lastly, I put in a copy of Displacement Wave to help return any troublesome permanents back to opponents' hands. I've added a few enchantments to our build that help our strategy in the ways that our creatures and other spells do by either tapping our opponents, giving us card advantage, or taxing our opponents for every time that they try to target one of our permanents. For artifacts, I've added Veilstone Amulet, which gives our creatures hexproof until end of turn whenever we play a spell. Semblance Anvil, which allows us to reduce our spell's cost by exiling a card. God Pharaoh's Statue, which taxes our opponents for 2 whenever they try to play a spell and also drains them for 1 life. And then the Amulet of Safekeeping allows us to counter spells that target us directly unless they pay extra, and also neuters token strategies. To keep this on budget or relatively close, I've decided to keep it as simple as I could with the land base by selecting some of the cheaper dual lands that you can get your hands on, as well as adding Sajiri Steep, which gives a target creature we control protection from the color of our choice until end of turn, which can help save a few of our guys. If you guys have a little bit more coin to upgrade to the land base, Glacial Chasm, Hall of Mist, and Hollowed Fountain are all excellent additions for this deck. And if you really want to show off to your friends, Flooded Strand and Maze of Ith are the way to go to show them how much you got to spend. In addition to upgrading our land base, creatures like Grand Abolisher, Iona Shield of Ameria, and Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, are all excellent options to add more power to your deck if your wallet allows for it. A couple of other great cards that you can add if you got the coin to spend are the enchantments Squeeze and Aura of Silence. If you have the extra buck, go ahead and pick these up because they'll be great additions to our deck. Well, thank you guys for making it through yet another video of mine. If you have any questions, comments, or anything that I have missed, please go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section. And if you like my content, please give a thumbs up and a like and subscribe so I can create more content for you guys. Peace.